Don't allow yourself to be bullied and controlled. Only mass civil disobedience is going to save us from Joe Biden's naked authoritarianism. A man who does not like authoritarianism, but thankfully is not naked, Tony Katz, radio host for Indianapolis, is with us. Tony, good to see you.
Always.
It's interesting. It feels as though that this has ignited a flame among centrists and center-right folks who are pro-vaccine but anti-vaccine mandate.
Right. It's really about being anti-force. And Joe Biden has said, come and try me. I'm willing to go down every road. This is the eviction moratorium conversation all over again, where he admitted on camera that, yeah, I know it might only last a month or two to try and keep people from being evicted, but we're willing to give it a shot before the Supreme Court throws it down. This is, I don't know, an homage to the base, but there's a real big question about how much damage he's doing to the 2022 chances in the Senate and in the House. And that answer is tremendous amounts of damage.
You're in a pretty red state. What's the data point that says that he's doing damage in swing districts in Iowa or in Massachusetts or in North Carolina?
I think the argument is anecdotal. We don't yet have the data point.
Okay.
And the anecdotal argument would be as follows. Look, I believe that government has certain powers, but they can't do this. If you were to engage a full spectrum of people on the socioeconomic spectrum, they would all tell you that there are three branches of government and they have checks and balances on each other. So now we have Joe Biden going to an agency, which is responsible to no one except the agency, deciding power over the citizen. The citizen has no recourse. You go around and engage that anecdotal polling, and you'll find people say, oh, that dog won't hunt. That's what they'll tell you. This is not going to work. And for a guy who claims to have the SCOTUS on his side, Supreme Court decisions like Jacobson versus Massachusetts, but not yet utilize that, rather go through OSHA and the Department of Labor.
Yeah, no,
it shows you how duplicitous it is.
It's an excellent point. I'm sure you were watching the top of the show and just wanted to make the point again, but there were so many things he could have done really quickly to bring down the power of the federal government and make people get vaccinated, but didn't want to spend the political capital on that, so did the end run with employers. The president, though, says, hey, don't worry, we're just doing this to protect everybody, including the vaccinated. Take a listen.
The bottom line, we're going to protect vaccinated workers from unvaccinated coworkers.
I'm confused. I thought vaccines worked.
That is exactly it, Leland. This conversation would go a whole lot better if Joe Biden understood the science. The vaccinated worker is protected from the unvaccinated worker. It's the unvaccinated worker who is not protected, and it really isn't even a vaccine. It's an inoculation, if we're honest. The World Health Organization has told us, if we're going to believe them, that this is here for forever. But you and I know, and rational people know, that COVID will be with us forever. The variants, the this, the that, the what have you. So it'll be like getting a flu shot. You do not end COVID by everybody getting quote unquote vaccinated. That's not how it works. I wish the president knew that.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of debate about trying to manage this to zero, and as you point out, just how difficult that is. Tony, always good to see you. Thank you.
Absolutely, man.
All right. The showdown over the vaccine mandates are impacting some of the most vulnerable in America. Census Bureau data this summer showed the vast majority of Americans who have not gotten